Oh, ho, ho, Bitcoin crypto holders, danger lurks in the charts. We have a lot of MACD bearish crosses coming our way. I want to break down what's happening in the crypto charts, in the Bitcoin charts, the macro news, answering your questions. Second half of the stream. It's going to be a good time. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Watt dogs on the treadmill, healthy body and ledger. Let's go. I love it. Love it. Welcome everybody to the chat. Mike, Matthew, Robert, Sue. Shout out to our great admin, Sue, helping keep the chat clean and free from bots and scammers. Appreciate you. Let's go. So, first and foremost, don't go, babe. It's just the last shakeout. It's hard, man. It's hard. Far too true for far too many people. Price of Bitcoin right now, $94,000. Everybody's losing their minds. It's all over. It's going to zero. Hey, look, guys, I want to be very, very simple about something here, okay? This is the MACD. MACD had a bullish crossover on the 11th of April. That was right around the, was it 9th of April that Trump said we're doing the 90-day pause? Anyway, from that point onward, we had a nice 3-week impulse here on Bitcoin. Now we are finally, as was said last week, starting to lose momentum, starting to have that slowdown. We did have this little pop above, but didn't really have the volume to follow through with it to keep it moving higher. So what are we looking at now? Potentially a bearish daily crossover on the MACD. Hydrate, guys. No, look, seriously, that was to be expected. And I've been talking about this for the last week. Like, guys, this has been a pretty epic run. It's been fantastic. It's going to cool off at some point. There's going to be a decent retest. When that decent retest comes into play, it's actually going to be a healthy thing. Now, who knows how low that goes, right? But as I have been saying, I think 89,000 is a pretty interesting area to watch. Lark, is your hangover gone? It's mostly lack of sleep and smoking too much shisha. I didn't actually drink anything at all last week. I didn't have a single alcoholic drink. Don't really drink all that much. But yeah, the voice has recovered from shouting in clubs at 1 in the morning and smoking too much shisha. So there you go. Anyway, this is an interesting place. This is the danger zone right now. Now, look, it's danger if you're trying to go long, mega super long right here. I think that anything in that shisha, not in Dubai, Samuel. It's just tobacco with mint. It was mint shisha, actually. And then there was a apple shisha a couple days before that. Anyway, you see a pullback to 90. Yep. Pull back to 90, 89. This is the key area I think I'd watch because it's the bottom of the range previously, right? 89, 90 was the bottom of the range for a very, very long time. So if you want to see a place where you want to see a pullback find support, it's right around there. We can wick under, right? That would be fine. Wick all the way back down to mid 80s. As long as it recovers within a day or two, probably pretty good, okay? But that's probably key area I want to watch out for right now is $89,000 if the pullback continues. Now, that being said, MACD bearish crossovers can lead to more extended market turmoil, let's say. So maybe we get the next week or two with a bit of downward pressure, but it depends. Maybe the Fed comes out and the Fed's all dovish. Jerome Powell's like, baby, we're ending QT. No more QT. The end of all QT. I don't know why Jerome Powell's speaking like Trump now. He's going to mock Trump. There we go. They come out. No more QT. We're keeping the rates the same, Donald. Anyway. We'll see how it plays out. That's going to be a big catalyst this week. But those are the key levels to watch. Obviously, 92, 20-day EMA. That's the next stop. I've been targeting 89.90 for a while. Let's see if we get it or not. Next few days will be very telling how it's. We're going to continue the month of May, I think. S&P 500 futures down only slightly on the day. Not too dramatic so far. It's not like it's some gargantuan. Oh my gosh, it's all over. It's just a little bit of red. It's fine. A little bit of red. Everybody's been sharing this chart. It's a scary chart. Terrifying chart. This is from 2022. So Trini Capital sharing this one, or Trini 7 sharing this one. It'd be so much easier to flip ultra bullish right now if the chart didn't look exactly like 2022's. Yeah. You can see here, huh? Oh my gosh. Yeah, we need the NASDAQ to kind of step up here, man, and do some bullish stuff, and that's not what's happening today. Anyway, let's see how we go here over the next few days. A big pullback in the NASDAQ. You'll probably see crypto cooling off a bit as well. A lot of fear still in the macro scene, without a doubt. Honey, the bull, Severino, posting a bit of important cold water charts here for everybody to look at. This is Bitcoin multiple time frame analysis using the logarithmic backdates. Just Bitcoin's in a very precarious position. If daily momentum crosses bearish, it can prevent the weekly bullish crossover and pull the weekly LMACD back below zero. If daily momentum crosses down and it does pull the LMACD below zero, this will likely cross the monthly LMACD back to bearish. With several important time frames in sync, we can see a more aggressive down move. Conversely, the daily MACD diverging upward could cross the weekly bullish and avoid another monthly crossover, which would be bullish. However, the monthly is most dominant of the three, and that looks to be a turning point and has the strength to pull the other time frames down with it. So you can see daily here, as we just covered, that's starting to turn over. Weekly has been grinding up towards a bullish crossover. Hasn't hit it yet, but it's going in that direction. We'll see how it goes. But very, very critical area here for Bitcoin on the weekly. The monthly has been threatening this bearish crossover for a while. Look, the month of May is going to be incredibly important. How the market reacts to what Jerome Powell says this week. If we start getting trade deals happening this week, or sorry, this month, big things are afoot right now. How the trade data and economic data continues to come in, it's been a mixed picture. Like ISM, we got a video coming for you on ISM tonight, and the ISM was not as bad as expected, trending back up. Surprising, that's manufacturing data. So there's not all bad, and everyone's freaking out, but maybe the worst of the doomer fears have subsided. But then the thing is, if Trump doesn't pull back on this stuff soon enough, maybe in the next 4 to 6 weeks, there's going to be some real negative economic impact that plays out here. And that's probably going to mean recession coming in July, August, something like that. We'll see how it plays out, though. There's still a lot of room for bullish price action between now and then. Anyway, very mixed picture right now, as you can see on these charts. Weekly's giving us a bit of hope. Monthly's flashing a pretty critical warning that by the end of May, we'll probably have pretty solid confirmation whether we are cooked or not for a while. Worth keeping an eye on. CryptoCon, looks like the S&P 500 has already made a swift recovery from its quarter cent cycle theory 15-year high, just as we should have expected based on others. He says, I created the cycle theory just a couple months ago, but it's already working wonders. The next major high for the stock market is not expected until 2028. The next true recession-like period is not until 2034. It's going to last until 2041. Shit. That's going to be a good time, isn't it? You know, that kind of lines up with my general thinking, is that in the next sort of, say, 5 to 10 years, we are going to see an absolute reckoning beyond anything people can imagine economically. And the pressure on you to get as rich as possible before that happens is intensely high, because the amount of people who are going to lose their jobs due to humanoid robotics and AI and stuff like that's going to be gargantuan. Humongous. The biggest unemployment crisis ever, the biggest depression ever. They're going to call it Trump's depression. Trump's not responsible for that, of course, making jokes. Reality is that technology's responsible for that, just like tractors were in the 1930s. Anyway, very interesting. If we get a pump just from here to 2028, let's go, baby. Short, little, shallow recession, trade deals, all that stuff resolves itself by the end of the year, and we just pump for years straight. That never works out like that, does it? Anyway, continuing. Mr. Tavares here saying not perfectly compelling leading indicator. This is Bitcoin versus the dollar index inverted. You can see how closely that moves together. Well, that would then indicate that into July, maybe into June, July, we could actually continue to see Bitcoin pumping. Let's see how it plays out. Guys, if you are trading on BitUnix, wait, no, if you want to trade on BitUnix, if you're trading on BitUnix, you're already there. You know how awesome it is. If you want to trade on BitUnix, never been a better time to sign up. No, seriously, go check it out. Link down below. It's no KYC exchange. I mean, it doesn't matter where you are. You can go and trade on BitUnix. Have a good time. Pop some USDT on there. Start trading. You can long, short, whatever you want. Get the rips, short the dips. With deep liquidity in all the major pairs. They've got all the hot meme coins and stuff over there. Anything you want to trade, basically, they got there for you. And as a special bonus, if you use that link down below, you get $10. That's just like a sign-up bonus. Like, hey, welcome to the exchange. Here's $10. Get you started. Do your first trade. Check it out. Try the exchange. You deposit $2,000. You get $400 back. And you can get up to a $2,000 trading bonus. Link down below if you want to start taking advantage of those limited time bonuses. Okay. Check this out. Friday last week. Did the data just not come in for all these other ETFs? It's inexplicable how all the other ETFs would have had zero volume. Just refresh that, see if we got anything new yet. No, I don't even understand how this is technically possible. Anyway, 2nd of May, $674 million of ETF inflows into BlackRock ETF, capping off a pretty damn big week. Look at that. Almost probably 1.7, 1.8 billion bucks or something like that last week. That's crazy. Crazy stuff. Okay. Rumor, extreme rumor. Grain of salt on this. Okay. Rumor. Posted by some pretty unreliable sources, let's say. But the rumor going is that NVIDIA is going to add Bitcoin to its balance sheet, which, to be honest, would make sense. It would make sense, to be honest. Why wouldn't they? All the big corporates are going to do it. We know there's been a lot of speculation that we're going to get an announcement from a big corporate. I've been saying it's probably Facebook. NVIDIA would literally make so much sense for a variety of reasons. So let's see who it ends up being. But I could see that. But again, pretty dodgy source. So let's just tamper our expectations here. Joe McCann sharing this percentage bears in our latest big money poll is about the largest in almost 30 years. What happens when everybody has absolute consensus that we're going to be in the most bearish whatever of all time? Okay. Everybody gets max emotional to one extreme or the other at the extremes of the market. Everybody's max bullish at the top and max bearish at the bottom. Actually, you need to think a little bit contrarian to that, believe it or not. President Trump says he wants to make a fair deal with China. The question is now, after all this bullshit, do the Chinese actually want to make a deal with Donald Trump? I mean, China's going to get absolutely smacked hard, man, super hard, unless they make a deal too. But they may not care. It may just be one of those deals where, like, screw it, we don't care if we have an unemployment crisis, just print more money, it'll be fine. You know what they say, when two big monkeys are swinging their dicks, you get out of the way, man. You don't need to be in the middle of that. Nope. It's not a good place to be for a variety of reasons. U.S. non-farm payrolls, 177,000 jobs added last month. The estimate was only 138,000, so it came in well above expectation, lower than the month before that. So there's that to consider, but beat estimates. So it's important. So jobs are coming in, okay? In spite of all the doomer bears out there, things are not as horrific yet, as they seem. 97% expectation that rates are going to stay unchanged this week. Jerome Powell absolutely throw a massive surprise to the market if he cuts rates this week. The FOMC, the Fed meeting, is on Wednesday. If he cuts rates, everyone's going to be pretty shocked. Basically, everyone's expecting him not to. So, yeah. Anyway, the big thing I would watch out for, his tone. Is he going to, what color tie is he going to wear? Is he going to have kind of dovish language? Or more importantly, is he going to end QT for treasuries? I don't know if the Fed can end QT for mortgage-backed securities right now with the housing market being in the state that it's in. I feel like they may have painted themselves into a corner with mortgage-backed securities specifically. I guess we'll see. Definitely bond QT could end, okay? So let's see if they end bond QT. Don't expect a rate cut. If you do, long your longs on top of your longs and just sell your house and then long that. Not house selling advice, obviously, or long advice, but just, yeah, I think the market will really be excited by such a radical thing, but I doubt it. Oh, yeah, and Creeker Monster, yeah, apparently Trump's announced tariffs on foreign movies coming in. I mean, come on, man. Come on. Anyway, crypto fellow posted this. Ethereum closes most bullish monthly candle 2025. When we last closed, the hammer candle at a 6% price bump. So you can see there That's a nice reversal candle on the monthly. Let's see if it sticks. That's the big question. ETH BTC hasn't put in more than 3 consecutive weekly green candles in years. If it does, maybe ETH has finally bottomed out. Ethereum bulls can pray. Ethereum bulls can pray. ETH right now stuck between the 20-day yellow line, 50-day blue line. Interesting spot to be hanging out at. Also interesting that ETH of all coins, don't even get me started on this, ETH of all coins, while the momentum is slowing down in the MACD, has not actually put in a bearish crossover yet. You know, if ETH just ends up leading the next rally, I don't even know, man. I'm going to have to eat a banana on stream or something like that. I don't know what's going on here. Anyway, let's see what happens. I still have my bid in down here at 1710, right around here. We'll see how that plays out. It's kind of just the middle of the air right now at 1710 bid. Maybe more logical places here at like 1690 if we wick down significantly, or maybe even just 1730. But it's going to really depend on how Bitcoin plays out over the next few days. If Bitcoin goes down to 89K, just for point of reference here, that's about a 5% move for Bitcoin, which is an absolute baby move for Bitcoin. But other things tend to react a little more heavily. So 6% for ETH. Gosh, I feel like every time Bitcoin moves 5%, ETH moves like maybe more than that. Anyway, we'll see. If ETH were to move even stronger than that, I mean, back to like $1,600 or something, that'd be brutal. Anyway, I don't know if it's going to move that much. I think there's at least some kind of optimism coming back into Ethereum land here. XRP struggling right now. I still have my buy order in for XRP around $2 at the 200-day EMA. Actually, not around $2 exactly at $2, which probably doesn't get hit. Probably goes down to like $2.001 and then doesn't get hit anyway. We'll see how it goes. Currently struggling to maintain above the 20 and 50-day EMAs. You can see this is a daily chart. We have a lot of time to close that daily chart. A lot can happen between now and the end of the day. But we did have a rally up, get rejected here at the 50-day blue line. Currently trading just below the 20-day EMA. Let's see how it goes. Also, of course, worth pointing out, again, back to the title of today's video, Bitcoin and crypto in danger. A lot of bearish MACD crossovers coming. Now, a bearish MACD crossover doesn't mean the prices are going to drop like 50% or something like that. These daily crossovers happen on a semi-regular basis. It means momentum slowing down. We're going to have a bit of a correction, okay? Likely. Not always. We could have a correction into Wednesday. Jerome Powell comes out, says something to get the market all excited, and bada bing, bada boom. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt, and market's pump, okay? Just FYI, but that's what we're seeing right now. That's what the charts are telling us. We get Trump. Okay. This is a little funny one for Solana holders out there. Solana developers fixed a bug that could have allowed attackers to mint unlimited tokens or steal from user accounts. Cool and normal. You know, Solana. Let's go. The bug was discovered April 16th. It's 2 weeks ago. Patched within 2 days. Well, that's good. Solana, days without incident. Well, you know, they fixed it before it got broken. That's good. It's good for Solana. Market didn't care about it, of course. I'm curious to see how the price action plays out here too. Again, if Bitcoin drops 5% more, I wouldn't be surprised to see Solana drop down to less, sort of like 130, something like that. Wouldn't surprise me. I currently have my order in at 140 here at the 50-day EMA with pretty tight stop loss on that. MACD has crossed over bearish, currently showing negative momentum here. So let's see how it plays over the next few days. It's pretty tight stop loss just after the 50-day EMA based on the idea that, well, maybe this correction sees a little more selling than people would like to see. So therefore, if I'm wrong, I can just reassess and look for the new long position as the prices correct down a bit further. That would be the idea anyway. Lowered expectations. That's right, Matthew. That's right. Was it in Living Color? Was that there was Saturday Night Live back in the day? I swear it was in Living Color. It was the other. It was like the alternate Saturday Night Live, a little more edgy and stuff like that. Anyway, one of those late night shows back in the 90s had this show called skit called Lowered Expectations. This was back in the day. You guys know, okay? If you weren't around in the 90s, you may not know about this. But anyway, back in the 90s, they had these things where you could like send in like a video tape of yourself, like a cassette tapes, VHS tape thing. You can send in a VHS tape to your local TV station, right? And it'd be like a dating thing. They talk about who you are and stuff. Anyway, so it's a pretty funny show. A skit on SNL or Living Hell, which one of those two it was on. But anyway, that shit was funny. It reminded me of that. Let's continue. We're getting off on a tangent. Lark, stop tangenting. Okay, Sui. Damn, man, this coin just will not. It just will not, man. Look at this thing. Talking about 90 shows looked down upon by Zoomers, man. Zoomers. Back when I was a young man, we used to remember all of our friends' phone numbers on the telephone. Didn't have TV on demand. I demanded my TV to be on. That's what I did. Anyway, Mad TV. Yeah, yes. Mad TV. That was it. That shit was hilarious too. Used to get Mad Magazine. Mom worked at a magazine stocking job, so she'd go stock magazines. And of course, there's always magazines out there. She's always bringing me home tons of magazines. Don't distract me. He's about to talk about the Sui chart. We're going to get there. Anyway, she'd bring home tons of magazines. The Mad magazine was always one of my favorite magazines that she brought home from the magazine stand. Okay. Concentrate, Lark. Talk about Sui. Holy shit. So I was at base camp last week, the Sui conference. Cool. Good vibes. Digged it. Had a great time. This coin has been effing relentless, man. No, seriously. Look at this. Whole market's just kind of like, I don't know what's going on. So he's like, pump, let's go. Didn't even get a 20-day EMA retest. Oh, it started trending down towards the 20-day EMA. Is it going to do that? No. Lark sold. He advised no one how to finance the ARC. Look, I would still like to see a nice retest here, but can I just point out, by the way, just, as a little, look, what is going on right here? Are you guys seeing this? This is a 50-day EMA, 200-day EMA, bullish crossover, AKA a golden cross coming in on Sui. Let's effing go, guys. That means that all of the EMAs will be back in their proper order, 20, 50, 200, instead of the way it was before, 200, 50, 20. AKA we have completely flipped things around here for the EMAs on Sui. Now, again, I would really like to see a retest of the 200-day EMA at some point. We'll see how we go. No, we didn't get any mention of this. I wasn't there for the whole thing. I was only there for a little bit of it, but I did not hear any mention of that, nor were there any big news announcements around it. So far, the rumor continues. I'm sure there's going to be some big announcement around that soon based on, again, the terms of service on the Pokemon website. I'm sure there's going to be some stuff announced there, guys. But anyway, this coin's absolutely nuts. Been super strong. Narrowly avoiding this bearish crossover here on the daily. Doesn't mean it still doesn't put it in, especially if markets turn more sour more broadly. What you really want to see now is if you want to say, okay, really strong vibes, let's, go pump it, go crazy stuff here. Really a daily candle close above probably like 355. You can see right here. Let me just draw a line on that there for you so you guys can see more clearly. Daily candle close above 355. You can see that's where all the daily candle closes happened before. So wick. This current one coming up, if it gets rejected there, watch at least for a 20-day EMA retest. And again, ideally for me, if I'm going to go long on this, I'm waiting for a retest of either the 50 or the 200 as a potential better entry zone here for Sui. Okay. Great coin, killing the cycle. Everyone's giving a lot of attention. People are starting saying, is this the Solana of the cycle? There's always going to be one, isn't there? IOTA, man, back from the dead. Man, we made money on this coin back in 2017. Well, we're back. We're making money on it again. They have had their rebased upgrade today, so now it's moving over to the new infrastructure. move language, same stuff that Sui's using, right? Aptos, staking's live, all that kind of stuff. So market hasn't really reacted very much yet. Maybe we can say this was sort of the run up and the excitement leading into that. Currently, of course, like a lot of coins, showing that potential for a, hasn't confirmed yet, but probably confirms next day or two, a bearish MACD crossover. Had a overbought signal here on the RSI as well on the 28th of April. So bit of a cool down period, normal, fine. Let's see if we can hold the 50-day here at 19 cents. But again, if the market takes sort of a broader downturn, maybe start looking at like something like 17 or 18 cents as an interesting area for that right there. Anyway, let's open up to your questions. We've been talking a lot about all kinds of stuff here. What do you guys want to talk about? That's what old Larko wanted to talk about. Of course, answer some of your questions. Getting off on some fun tangents. Put my red cap on for 10 minutes. You got 10 minutes, guys. Let's talk. What do you want to talk about? How low can Bitcoin go before the Fed meeting? 0. No, up. In case you weren't around for the Bitcoin analysis part of the video at the back at the start, scroll back and listen to more in depth. But my sort of feeling has been a retest of like $89,000 or $90,000 is probably going to be a decent spot for a retest if we go that low. So let's see what plays out over the next few days. Stock market's going to be a bit antsy on what old Jerome Powell's going to say there as well. So 89.90, that's the area that I'm watching. Probably about a 10% move down for big cap altcoins and 20-30% for a lot of your meme coins. Frank says, I'm betting that Bitcoin will continue having diminishing returns. Many people are starting to talk about this fact. 100K price tag looks shiny to an OG, but to a newbie looks expensive. It's just one reason why projects like XRP and Sui continue to outperform BTC. It's an interesting thought, Frank. And thank you for bringing it up. I've certainly heard that before as well. It's worth considering that right now, gold's market cap is around 25 trillion and Microsoft is 3 trillion. Microsoft biggest company right now. Let's say Microsoft biggest company, whichever biggest, whether it's Microsoft or Apple today, it's around 3 trillion bucks. So the biggest stock is 1/8 approximately the market cap of gold. Now, the question is, where does Bitcoin actually fit in, right? And to keep it in mind here, you might say, well, $100,000 Bitcoin, that's very expensive. Yeah, but it's like saying that like a kilo of gold for, what's it probably cost today? $120,000 or something for a kilo of gold. That's expensive. Actually, let's see. What's a kilo of gold cost? This thing, we usually talk about gold in ounces, right? But there's lots of different ways to look at it. Yeah, I guess it'll be around, where's the gram price? Yeah, a little over $100,000 for a kilo bar of gold these days, which sounds really, really expensive. Wow, who the hell's going to buy gold for $100,000 a kilo? It's a unit problem, right? So maybe we should start talking about ounces of Bitcoin, or we talk about Satoshis, but perhaps it's not a clear enough value proposition for normies, right? Because really, when you buy an ounce of gold, you're buying 0.03 kgs of a kilo of gold, right? It's all about denomination, but realistically, Bitcoin's 1/10 or less than 1/10 of the value of gold, and it probably catches up at some point. But yes, I agree. When the time comes, look, Bitcoin's going to go from what, 100K to 250 or something. It's going to be 150% gains from here, approximately, let's say. So something like Sui probably puts in a 10x over that period. And this has always been the case. Bitcoin does well at certain times in the market, but when things really start heating up, it's going to be altcoins. That's where the big money's going to be made. You're not going to get a 10x on Bitcoin this cycle. Oh, Bitcoin's under 94K. What's going on? Let's have a little look. There it is. There it is, guys. Curious to see how this week plays out. It's all part of the plan so far, guys. We'll lose 89. That's a different conversation. But so far, so best. So far, so good. Okay. Have you ever considered adding your own hecklefish to your show? That'd be pretty funny, Kev. I think use AI to get one of the ladies talking back here. That'd be pretty funny. What's happening with Move? Founder suspended. Coinbase delisted. Apparently there's some bullshit going on with the founder. Crypto, man. Never a dull day, is it? I don't know. There was some bullshit going on with the founder doing some stuff in the background. And yeah, the Coinbase delisting, that was like the final kick of the ball. So it had already been sort of rising amounts of suspicion and FUD going on around here from their market maker and some deals and stuff that were made. And will it recover? I don't know. It's an interesting question. A lot of competition out there, man. A lot of competition out there. It's hard to repivot something from you know, that kind of insider drama. And yeah, obviously the founder guy is out, but will the rest of the team be able to recover it? Thoughts on a potential recession? Well, it's definitely definitely on the cards in terms of a possibility, right? I think the risk of that is rising all the time. One of the big things that we're seeing is what's going on with the container ship arrivals, right? I was listening to that interview with the the manager of the ports of LA. He's like, yeah, we're down 50% and it's going to keep going down. And he said, even if what deal was made, it's going to take, 4 to 6 weeks for normal levels to return. And that assumes that a deal gets made ASAP. And there's no deal currently being made. Yeah. Favorite place to go for food in Dubai? Oh man, there's a lot of them, Adriana. Let me think. There's actually this pretty cool little place near downtown. It's called Seva Table. Yeah, it's got some pretty cool vibes for the place. You like sit down on the ground and stuff, and really nice ingredients for all their food. And it's kind of one of our places we enjoy going from time to time. But you're kind of spoiled here in Dubai. There's so much great food all over the place. Are we in a bull trap with Bitcoin? We're going to find out. We're going to find out. If we get a nice retest and bounce off 89K, then no. If we slice right through 89K and head back to the lower 80s, then yeah, I guess it was a bull trap. And we all fell for it. Wasn't Move in Trump's World Liberty fight? Yes, and it still is. I don't know if you guys remember. Pepperidge Farm remembers. Back January-ish, World Liberty Fi basically announced that they are welcoming inquiries about making deals where they would buy some of your tokens in exchange for World Liberty Fi tokens or whatever. And of course, that gets people high profile, right? Oh, the Trumps are buying this token. Like, yeah, it's because it's part of a deal. They're not just randomly running out and doing their own research and finding stuff in the market. They're getting approached. They're making deals, which is fine. But that's part of the thing to keep in mind there. 2026 recession, I can see it. Lol, absolutely F all chance of a recession, buddy. Good. I hope you're right, Anzac Merc. Like I said, my sort of base case has been that this is all a giant growth scare, deals we made, things are going to be better, but I don't think you can ignore the increasing potential for a recession. Okay, Q1 was just negative GDP. If Q2 follows, it's problematic, right? With so much uncertainty right now, companies are going to be slow to hire, slow to do new investments and stuff. You need to have some resolution to all this trade conflict, at least some kind of resolution, some kind of cooling down of tensions. He's not reading. I'll shut up now about the ICE Open Network. The hell's ICE Open Network? All right, let me have a look here. I think you were asking about this last time, weren't you? But I think it was, what we got here? ICE Open Network. What the heck is this coin? Let's have a look here. ICE Open Network. How old is this coin? Well, it's been around since last year. Interesting. Gosh, I've never heard of this. What the heck is this coin? ICE Network's newest digital currency that can be mined for free using a phone. The ICE project aims to restore trust in digital asset, provide a sense of community for users who lack financial resources to mine Bitcoin eventually market late. All right. Rock and roll, I guess. I'm always suspicious of mining scheme coins personally. But yeah, don't know. There are deals in the works. There are. My guess we're going to start seeing some deals announced here pretty soon. Creeker Monster, by the way, I don't have an opinion on that. I guess I could have a look at the charts for you. Probably looks a lot like the rest of the charts, though. Let's just see here. ICUSD. Well, actually, it's pretty decent. It's a recent listing. OKX, so it's hard to say. It doesn't have very deep levels of data coming in here. But hey, you know what? Fair enough. It's gone up 200% since off the lows here, maintained above the 20-day EMA. So, you know, it's got some momentum going for it. Watch for 20-day EMA retest if you're interested in the asset. If I understood the use case correctly, not very interesting to me personally, but, you know, everybody sees their own things in different assets. Lark, bear and bull case for Sonic. Yeah, let's look. What's food in Dubai got to do with crypto? Everything. Don't you understand? Actually, I need to start doing more Dubai videos. Yeah. Some cats. I've had some killer falafels, man. There's this place called Operation Falafel. Excellent hummus, excellent falafels. Love it. Anyway, let's look at the Sonic chart. Tricky part is whether or not we're gonna, yeah, I had to look at the Phantom chart, you know, because they've rebranded, it's not as easy to find good long-term charts. Okay, here we go. Good, let's have a look at this. Yeah, looking decent. I mean, looking decent, assuming that we get a bounce here. Let's put it that way. What do we got going on here? Let's draw that there, maybe coming down for 49 cents here wouldn't be too surprising. You could argue that we've already are in the process of breaking the trend right now. Maybe just draw from the candle bodies there. In which case, you basically is looking at the current price is basically bouncing right on the trend line, bouncing on the 20-day, bouncing on the 50-day. Probably want to see that hold and bounce back higher. If the wider market turns down, though, then probably see this come back down to something like 44, 45 cents. Would not surprise me. Key area of price support from back on over this area right here. So, yeah, that's something to watch out for. Still trading under the 200-day EMA, which is not fantastic. It really needs to take out 60 cents. You can see here, it zoomed all the way up there. Got a pretty strong, fast rejection at the 200-day EMA. So just like happened back here. I mean, that's a wild candle. What the hell's up with that? Wild wick there. But yeah, let's see if this can break out and have a nice bounce here. But again, depends on wider market action. If Bitcoin drops 5%, Phantom's probably going to drop 5 to 10%. So worth keeping an eye on for that situation there. But I've got a big bag. I think it's a trendy blockchain and probably has enough potential to see the prices run higher at some point. Is Dubai one of the safest places on earth? True. It's true. There you go. It is very, very true. It is one of the safest places on earth, man. It's really it's just shocking to think you drive around or walk around and it's all the bullshit that you kind of get used to with the West. Just don't have it. Yeah, it's a monarchy and all that stuff. I don't know. Works. It works. I like it. Big fan. Lark's favorite crypto is Ethereum Classic. Yeah. Oh, Mad magazines were the best, man. Those are good times back in the day. Was Cardano, Nathan? I dropped a video on Cardano earlier, but yeah, I think it'll be following along approximately with the rest of the coins here. So we'll see what happens with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going to lead the way. Sui very bullish. Sui's been a strong coin, man. Don't bet against the ones that everyone loves, man. Watch for the watch for the strength in the market, right? Looking to head to Dubai in the next 6 months. Looking to head to Dubai in the next say 6, Lark, not sex. Oh my God. Looking to head to Dubai in the next 6 months. Need good food places to check out. You're a crypto economist. You're going to be spoiled, man. Really, it's just, it's nuts. Hey, you know, a really cool place to check out if you're here with like your family and stuff. It's kind of lame, I guess, if you're here by yourself. But if you come with your wife or your kids, if you have kids, there's this place called the Sonara Desert Camp, Sonara. It's super cool, man. It's like an hour outside of town. It's got like beautiful sunset sort of chill place, and you got like falcon shows and camel rides and dune boarding and sunset photography. And they bring you drinks and pizzas and stuff. And then you go down for like dinner and a show. Yeah, it's pretty cool. That would be a place to check out. It's not in town, but it's definitely a place to check out as an experience in Dubai. How's the no tax thing? Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, man. I feel like I'm finally living my life. Like my weight's been lifted off my shoulders. I'm not drowning underwater anymore. You guys are awesome. I'll see you back tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Peace.